Doing a min clear of Ice Tower for my global account, which is perfect since I don't have much on it anyway. On top of that, I'm going primarily with Totori DPS, switching Rorona onto debuffer duties. Floor 3 is one of the break-themed floors, with everything taking almost no damage until broken. And since there aren't many low-rarity breaker options, we're using Eska and Stera, and throwing some break gear onto Rorona. The Eska-Stera combo is not terrible even off-attribute, since Eska can lower wind resistance to set up either of them for the follow-up. We reset for a specific burst formation that allows Eska to burst one golem, and Stera and Rorona crack the turtle, opening them up for Totori to delete. The first 20 Affinity Tower floors use the old system of controlled panel randomization. Recognizing the patterns and resetting for a suitable one is the main skill needed to clear these. You would also need a sense of the break and damage requirements, but with current characters and gear, you probably overshoot by a lot, compared to the conditions when the towers were first introduced. We do manage to break 2 enemies even with the 50% wind resist and lackluster gear, which you can see at the end. The blue energy drink has also eliminated crit RNG, and we in turn eliminate the 2 broken enemies as planned, reclaiming most of the timeline. Despite not being labeled as support, this attack is just a debuff, and the golem getting a crit panel doesn't actually pose a threat. There's not enough time to recharge items by the second burst formation, and it's unlikely Totori can kill without them, so we'll stall until the third. Was doing break calculations in my head here, or more likely checking Discord. Beyond the first 2 clusters, the timeline RNG is a bit hard to account for, we just have to wing it. Had I used soup earlier instead of the blue drink, maybe I could have ended it here so you can trade the deeper timeline RNG for the earlier crit roll RNG if you prefer. Though I'm not sure my gear here would suffice. After the early burst formations, the next one seems pretty far in. We have enough healing to not be in any particular danger, but maybe the soup would have been better. Or just use Rorona DPS like a normal person. Looks like we can get Eska into Stera Burst. Additional debuffs from Rorona and Miru, and then the Totori finish. On the other downside to the blue drink is needing to land exactly on the burst panel to not overwrite it, though sometimes the following panel is guaranteed to be red anyway, so the alternative would be landing exactly on the panel in front of it. Different floors may or may not force the panels surrounding bursts to be red. You'll probably pick that up as you reset. The combo does line up as planned. But again, going this deep into the timeline can be a bit spotty versus resetting more for an earlier clear. GG. For the setup, remember to have Rorona underleveled, so she doesn't intercept the items meant for Totori. Toto has the UR weapon from one of the events, a Kodai hit while trying to make a buff A1 and boots originally worn by Tao. Not sure if Eska has specific speed requirements or if my Memoria just wasn't maxed, otherwise she has a mix of break and debuff gear. The good thing about Toto DPS is not needing buff A, so we're free to use all recovery or whatever on Meru. We're using the R Memoria with AoE break damage for Stera. There are actually decent break options among the lower rarity Memoria. And the usual free weakness break Ryza Memoria is shifted to Rorona here, since in this case the actual breakers aren't hitting into weakness. That's it for this floor. I'll hopefully finish the rest in time, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.